Okay, today we're going to look at drawing the project that we're going to make this year. Small table with a draw, and by the end of this lesson we're hoping to be able to draw the legs, the side rails here and the back rail. We're also going to have all the joinery that joins those together. Before we start though, we're going to set up our drawing desktop to make sure we've got all the tools that we need. First of all, we're going to go to View, Tool Palette, Large Tool Set. That's this set over here. We can move that around and place wherever we like. Making sure that we've got the right template. We can check that by going to Windows, Model Info, to make sure that we've got decimal, millimetres and a precision of 0 under the units. We're also going to make sure we've got standard views and styles because they're useful later on. If you haven't, you need to go to View, Customise Toolbar, and you can drag those on and place them onto the menu bar wherever you like. If you've got an excess of icons up here and they're getting in the road, you can just drag them off. For instance, you can just drag them off there like that, or put it back on there, or you can move them around wherever you like. Once you're done, just hit Done. Now we're ready to start. The first thing we're going to do is draw a rectangle on the ground to help us place the legs when we're drawing those. So R for rectangle, go to the origin, click once, and then drag. Then we're going to tab, use the tab key. You'll notice at the bottom corner here the dimensions have been highlighted. We're going to type in the numbers 440, 290. Notice we've got a rectangle on the floor there. Now it's a long way away, but we can zoom into that by just going Shift Z, and that zooms in. We're now going to double click on that, and you'll notice the highlighted surface and the border around the outside. And we're then going to use Control click, and we're going to make that a group. That's going to help us isolate that from the drawing later on. First thing we're going to do is a rectangle in the corner over here. Actually, it's going to be a square because it's going to be the size of the legs, and that will be 40, 40. So I'll do that again. That's tab to get into the bottom dimension field. Type in 40, 40, and then enter. You'll notice we've got a rectangle there. Oh, sorry, a square. Double click on that, and you'll notice that it doesn't select this piece of paper because we isolated that earlier. We're now going to push that up, and we're going to push that up by 390 millimetres. Zoom out and you'll see that that's actually quite tall. That's a leg height. Now we've drawn the leg. What we want to do is we want to make a component because later on we're going to edit this and we want all the legs to be edited where the joints are the same at the same time, so we're not able to double up. So we do that by making a component. So triple click on that, and the whole thing's highlighted. Control click or two finger click, and we're going to make that a component. We're going to call that the leg. So we select that once, it's all highlighted. We can do a number of things with that. We're going to copy that. So we're going to use the move copy command, which is M, and notice the cursor changes. I'm going to zoom down into this front corner here because when I copy it down to here, I want that front corner to snap to this corner. So I'm going to click it, then the Alt key changes the cursor into a copy command rather than just move, and I'm going to anchor that there. I then need to do the same for the other corners. So this time I'm going to move this one here from that corner, Alt to there, and around the other side here, because I want to be able to see that corner there, and Alt for copy, I'll move that to there. And when we've copied those, unfortunately, they're all orientated the same way. What we want them to be is orientated in a mirror fashion. So in order to do that, we've got to change or flip them in relationship to the axis that they're on. So this one over here, by selecting that and going Control click, we can then go and flip that along, in this case, the red axis. Now it hasn't changed much there, but later on you'll understand why we've done that. We're going to do the same with this one again. We're going to do that one flip along red axis, but we're also going to flip that one also along green axis. And then we're going to select this one and we're going to flip that one along the green axis. You might want to roll back and redo that if you didn't quite catch that. Now, what you'll see is the reason why we've done that. If we double click on this now, and if we draw a rectangle in that corner there, from there to there, you'll notice that all these rectangles have been pointing towards the middle, which means they're mirrored across from left to right and from front to back. We don't need that, that's just for that purpose. So, we've now got 4 legs. What we're going to draw is the side rails now. So I'm just going to orbit around to this side, get a better look and zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to place a guideline on this edge here. Now the guideline tool is T, or the tape measure tool. Go to the edge there and click once, and I'm going to go in tab 5mm. Now you'll notice that this object isn't highlighted. I don't want it to be highlighted. When I draw that guideline and when I draw the rail, I don't want this leg to be highlighted because I'm not editing the leg, I'm adding onto it. So we're going to draw a rectangle now from the intersection of that line on the face of that leg. We're going to go down, and it's going to be 19 mils wide, which is the thickness of our stock, and 100mm long. So that's 19, 100. And we're just going to simply pull that across until it touches that surface there. Now that's not part of the legs, that's separate. It's not even a component yet, but if we triple click on that now, and control click, make that a component, we can call that the side rail. We can now copy that over to the other side, but before we do that, we need to put a guideline on that far leg, coming in 5mm. That's so that the rails are offset from the leg back a little bit. 5mm. Okay, rectangle. Actually, no, sorry, we're not going to do that. We're going to take this. Again, we're going to move it. We're going to move this corner here by move, Alt for copy, and then over, and zoom in. I'm going to place it on the intersection of that guideline and the top of the leg. And as with before, when we flip these legs so that they're orientated the correct way, we're going to flip this one. And we're going to do that by control click, flip along the red axis. Okay. Now we've done the left and right rail, we just need to do the back rail. Again, the same thing, we're going to do a guideline, we're going to come in 5mm, tab 5, and we're going to draw a rectangle, intersection of that guideline, down, tab 19, 100, and then we're going to drag or push and pull that across to this edge here. Now that we've drawn those, what we need to do is add on to those the joinery that's going to join the rails back and side to the legs themselves. We're going to do the side ones first. So we're going to double click on that to add it in edit mode. And you'll notice it's in edit mode because it's got these dotted lines around it. And to isolate it from the rest of the drawing so we can work on it without being hindered by the legs, we're going to go up here and go View, Component Edit, Hide Rest of Model, and that removes the rest of the model. And you're going to just zoom out a little bit and back in so we can get a good look at this leg here, or this rail. I'm now going to create a tenon on the end here, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take this edge and I'm going to copy it. So I use Move Copy, and I'm just going to move that in on that face, tab 6mm. I'm going to do the same again for the other side. Okay, I'm going to do the same for the bottom. So if I select that little edge there and move, copy, whoop, sorry. Move copy, 10 mils. And at the top there, I'm going to do the same there, go select, click, Alt for copy, and move that down 10 millimeters. I don't know why that didn't do that right, but I'll do that again. $10 Now you'll notice that the same has happened at the other end there as well. So while I'm editing this one, because it's a component, the other one was also editing. So what I'm going to do now is remove the lines on here that I don't need. There's that one there, that one there, that one there, and that one there. I'm now going to pull this tenon out to a total length of 20mm. So tab 20, enter. Alright, so I've got that one done. Now going to rotate around to the back using the orbit tool, zoom in, and I'm going to do the same again. So I'll go over that with you. We're going to use the move copy tool, that's M for move copy. We're going to take this line here and we're going to do Alt for copy and move a copy in there, tab 6mm. Go to the other side, again, click, Alt for copy, move it in 6mm. Okay, go to the top here and select that little line there, Alt for copy, move down 10mm, and at the bottom here we're going to copy that one, click, Alt for copy, whoop, that was 9, it's no good. $10. Erase the little lines that we don't need and push pull. Tab 20. Okay, what I'd like you to do is repeat that process for the back. Now because we copied this from left to right, the side rails, we needed to flip those around and we need to make a component. The back one we don't need to do that because the front and back are different. So all we need to do for the back one is make it into a group. So if I triple click on it, 1, 2, 3, control click, we're going to make that a group. Now we can go back to the same here. If we open this in edit mode, we'll notice that the rest of the legs are gone. We can do the same. Copy that line in, down, down, make it a tenon. So I'll just do that and just watch. Remember to hit the Alt key to make it a copy rather than just simply moving it. If you don't use the Alt key, what will happen is it will move the object. It will actually grab that and it will move it around the place. You don't want that to happen. Move, remove, erase, erase, push pull. Tab 20. Now, before we go any further, and you can do the other end when you like, I'm going to change to X-ray move, X-ray view, so you can actually see the tenons, how they go into the legs. When you come back into class, I'm going to show you how to draw the mortise joints. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just email me.